The Iowa Hawkeyes just got great training camp news. Let's talk about it. My name's Aaron, and with my buddy Paul, we are the Big Ten guys on the daily Big Ten content. Do not miss out. All you got to do, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and hit the like button. If you hit the like button, listen, it's as simple as this. Mark Gronowski will throw more than 10 touchdowns. I'll tell you what, he'll throw more than 20. Hit the like button, he'll do it, so don't miss out. Today, what we're going to be specifically talking about is all the good things going on, specifically offensively. We know Phil Parker, that defensive side of the ball, a lot of things are figured out. All right, gears are turning like they're supposed to. It's a well-oiled machine. Offensively, we're specifically continuing to look at this passing game and what that is going to look like moving forward. My buddy Paul, he's a big Michigan fan. If they would have had a quarterback last year, that team would have been much better. Just like Iowa. Iowa, you get a quarterback in there, insert a good quarterback like Mark Gronowski, you got a lot of potential, a ton of potential. So we're going to jump into what they've been talking about at training camp and why it is good moving forward for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, specifically, Tim Lester talking about watching Gronowski figure out this offense. And again, even just the other day, they were talking about how this offense is not going to be like an Ohio State type high flying offense. Is it going to be better than typical Iowa offenses? Yes, for sure. But it's not going to be this crazy kind of scheme that I think offenses in college football have turned into. And so Iowa's going to still stick to their roots, but at the same time, there are going to be massive areas that Lester has said, hey, we're going to improve at. And Gronowski is one of those guys that's going to help them obviously do that. Now, he's talking about how now he's feeling comfortable in this offense, understanding how to change up protection and understand that so he can throw better in the pocket. We know, led by Logan Jones, this offensive line is going to be solid. And so that's, again, not necessarily concern. The concern is there a quarterback in place that's going to be able to throw it? And again, as Gronowski progresses in training camp and is understanding this offense of Tim Lester's, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Videos have came out of him making throws. They've been beautiful. I think a lot of people, and I'll continue to say this, and Paul will continue to say this, are sleeping on the Iowa Hawkeyes. We put out a video the other day about how Iowa State, a lot of people have them in that game. Vegas has them in that game. Iowa State. We threw a bunch of different things to say otherwise. But again, Iowa with a good offense will surprise people. Now, that's one good sign. Second good sign is this: the receivers. We're going to be seeing a lot of. Let me switch it up right here for you. Jacob Gill, so we know transfer from Northwestern, and then Reese Vanderzee. Now, Gill in particular, I'm very excited for him. I think he has a ton of potential. And a lot of people say, well, Aaron, pump the brakes. His stats aren't crazy from anywhere he's been. But we also need to understand, he has not had a true quarterback wherever he has been throwing him the ball. And that is similar with almost every single wide receiver on this Iowa football team. What does it look like for these guys to actually have a quarterback under center that can put the ball in their hands to let them make plays? It's going to be different. So again, not only people are sleeping on Gronowski, but people are sleeping on these wide receivers on this team as well. So we look at Gill. I think he is going to have a great breakout season, going to be one in the leading receivers, if not the leading receivers on this team. But also too, another player that I think people are sleeping on is Reese Vanderzee. Big guy, 6'4", so my height, a dog, sophomore year. Now, we know last year wasn't ideal for him, but when it comes down to it, another player that, hey, has he really had the opportunity to shine like people think that he can? I would tell you no. We remember the whole quarterback situation last year. not ideal. So again, moving forward, as we see Gronowski in training camp, starting to understand protection, starting to call those things out. He's not necessarily throwing the ball hot. He's getting an understanding of how this protection works, giving himself a few more seconds to make a great few more, that would be perfect, couple more seconds to make a pass to one of these guys, get them in their hands and let them make some plays. Again, you're only going to see Gronowski progress in training camp, get better. Albany will be a great warm-up to Iowa State week 2, and expect these wide receivers to surprise you as well, because Gronowski is the one putting the ball in their hands. So tell me what you think. Gronowski, what you've heard at training camp, have you been excited? If you say no, I would be incredibly surprised. But again, what do you think about Gill, Vanderzee? What are your guys' thoughts on this wide receiver room? Again, a ton of experience, up in the air. A lot of potential, I would say yes. I would say there's a lot of potential. So comment below, tell me what you think. As well, just want to jump into the schedule at the end, something that is always great to do. Again, you look at Albany, that's going to be a big game on the 30th. The reason it's a big game is just the fact that, it's a good warm-up game going into that Cy-Hawk rivalry in Ames, Iowa against Iowa State. Again, I am telling you, I think Iowa State is not going to be as good as people think they are. A lot of people said last year, this team is going to make a push for the playoffs. And they did. And they ended up losing and not making the playoffs. But they lost a ton of players. I think this is a game they win. First 3, I'm giving them wins. Rutgers in Piscataway, win. Going up against Indiana, homecoming, and Iowa State is going to be a fun game, September 27th. That will be a ton of fun. And I think they will be going in ranked. And I think they will be going again, undefeated against Indiana. That is going to be a tough team. I think they both will be undefeated. Indiana has a very easy street schedule, we'll say. So Cignetti, Coach Cignetti, if you remember at Big Ten Media Day, talking about how, listen, look at the SEC and their schedule. Why can't we do it? I don't disagree. So gonna be a really, really fun game. If they win that game, it will be, I think they win at Wisconsin, even though that's a tough game in Madison. Wisconsin, I think, is going to have a down year. Penn State will be tough, but it's a good thing that's a upset brewing right there against the Nittany Lions that I think will potentially be number 1 in the country at that spot. Minnesota's tight. And then you got a gauntlet at the end right here. I'm a Michigan State fan. You should be able to win that on Senior Day. Nebraska, we're very high on as well. So the schedule is not easy. But seeing the signs right now in training camp that Gronowski, he's making throws, he's understanding the protection better, he's really absorbing this offense as well, making these connections with these wide receivers. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Listen, offensive last year, Iowa, rough. And as a Michigan State fan, our offense, rough. When you hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up. And Gronowski in this wide receiver crew is going to help the Iowa Hawkeyes do that. Tim Lester, I think he has a lot of things up his sleeve. He wants to prove people wrong. Don't sleep on him. So comment below. Tell me what you guys think. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the subscribe button. Hawkeye Nation. We'll talk later. Peace.